just got new data in today. It's not great news.
No, and it's not great news, but it's also not surprising. Right. I think any of us could have come to the conclusion that the drought is worse than it was a week ago, way worse than it was just a month ago. I mean, look at how fast this happened. Think about how wet it was earlier this year. A month ago, none of us were in a formal drought. That yellow color is sort of that unusually dry, the predecessor to a formal drought, and that was 87% of Vermont. Now, all of Vermont is in a drought, at least a moderate drought, but 59% are in a severe drought, and that's up from last week. Then, of course, we have that section of New Hampshire that is in an extreme drought. So that's a new category that we haven't seen thus far. And unfortunately, like we've been saying, none of the rain that's headed our way is really going to be impactful. But of course, this map has a bunch of colors on it. No matter where you are, you can say, hey, it's really dry out there. There are impacts. So what actually is the difference between a severe drought versus an extreme drought? We're going to bring Gunnar in now. And Gunnar, you're here to explain all that.
Yeah, so I'm going to explain what one can expect from each category to kind of show you also how we've progressed from just unusually dry a month ago to severe drought now. So here is a quick look at what we're expecting. Here's the different categories, and obviously we are in severe drought and we are expecting extreme drought now in New Hampshire. So here are the different kind of categories one can expect to be impacted by drought. So here's where we were a month ago. Minor stress to agriculture and vegetation, while ecosystems and water resources are generally unaffected, while human use, voluntary conservation is expected. Now, moderate drought is a step above that, and let's actually just skip to where most of us are now in severe drought. So a month ago, things weren't really that affected at all. Now, some crop losses, deeper wells are running dry. I know in the Northeast Kingdom, we're seeing people's wells completely dried out, and also very low water levels in lakes, streams, and even ponds. And then also wetlands also losing a lot of their moisture, becoming more so a grassland. And then human use, we're starting to see some restrictions develop. And now that we have extreme drought developing in New Hampshire as of this week, let's talk about what we can expect with that. Widespread crop losses, most wells running dry, and even some reservoirs running low. Wildlife is expected to die off if they're particularly susceptible to drought, or they're going to migrate out of those regions in search of more water, while strict restrictions, while they may not be in place yet since the drought or extreme drought was just established, we can start to expect some restrictions going into place here soon. Now, I don't think that we're in any concern as of yet for exceptional drought, but here's that category where agricultural collapse, water scarcity, ecosystem collapse. Again, we're not expecting that anytime soon or at all. But that is a concern if we don't get any meaningful rains anytime soon.